How you doing, guys? It's the Angry Red Man here. So it's been a while since I actually did like an update video with regards to Liverpool and any other stuff regarding the Premier League, and I feel that video should be made today. So let's sit down and let's just have a chat. Okay, so first off, some news and results lately, okay, as to what we've known over the last few days, right? Liverpool 2, Everton 1. That leaves us 7 points clear of Chelsea, who are trying to chase around for Champions League football. So yeah, with that win, it actually gives us a slightly more comfortable position, if you will, okay? But it's not pretty. We lost Mamardashvili in the process because, yeah, conceding the goal, right, okay, like from Beto, yeah, Robert and Mamardashvili will collide with each other to try in attempt to actually prevent that goal from coming in, which unfortunately didn't happen though. Okay, but then again, yeah, but it's thank God, right? To be fair to Mamardashvili, he's okay after after being admitted to hospital, get that wound stitched up a little bit. He'll be out for about 2 to 3 weeks, as probably we got a timeline from. But yeah, all the best for Georgie Mamardashvili, mommy. Okay, yeah. And of course, Freddie Woodman, as a result, stepped in, yeah, and he actually had a solid debut. All right, to be fair to Freddie Woodman, he had a solid debut, and he's set to start against Crystal Palace, okay, Freddie Woodman. And good to bring along Mamardashvili as well, because I think it's time that we also bring him aboard. And really, as someone, yeah, someone that's like young and an upcoming keeper, I wouldn't actually have minded Mamardashvili be our number 2 instead of Woodman, but we need Woodman for English players lah, okay? But yeah, but Woodman is good to have. Luckily, we do have him. Yeah, with that said. Okay, but of course the goals by Salah and the goals by Van Dijk. Van Dijk is a deja vu because he scored the winning goal when he debuted against Everton, and of course it's against it's a derby again, so that's his derby debut. And then deja vu, away derby, and he scored at 100 minute, another header as well. Okay, yeah, so which is a nice, good way to confidence, because let's just put it that way, he didn't have the best game at all, did he? Right? And yeah, so because he did score the goal, whatever crap that he has done over the course of the game, I'll forgive you, okay, Virgil, because you did score for us, and it's nice that we have it there, because it actually gives us a huge cushion for the Champions League places after Chelsea lost 1-0 to Manchester United. And then the other thing is Manchester City won against Arsenal 2-1, and it's really... And it's good for Manchester City and bad for Arsenal, because they haven't been winning a lot at all, domestically at the very least. So, because as long as Man City win their next game in hand, as long as they maintain a superior goal difference, they'll be at the top of the table. Yes, a lot of Arsenal fans are pretty pissed off over that, but you know what? I kind of like watching them squirm. Okay, because the fans is an insufferable bunch. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, they're fucking insufferable. But yeah, I love it. Okay, so I'm still not exactly the most pleased guy, but I'm good enough today as it is. Okay, yeah. The other interesting thing is, right? Okay, will we see the actual relegation of Tottenham? It is a possibility, right? Okay, it is a possibility, because at this point, after West Ham drew against Wolves, we talk about Wolves about them in a while. Okay. Yeah, that means that West Ham are 2 points clear of Tottenham, and Tottenham are pretty much shit the bed after they are suffering with an extreme injury crisis at that too, and to think it will be Tottenham that's really the potential team to be relegated. Yeah, that is really unlike a team. And because not to mention that when they started out, they were doing so well in the Champions League, yeah, and look what happened now. This is really a clear example, right, how not to run a club and how not to really run it. It's the same thing when you take into account for Arne Slot and FSG, okay? No fault of De Zerbi. De Zerbi has only just come in, because he can't really fix anything just yet, and he's not given the right tools for the job. But Arne Slot, he's been literally given the best of the best in the industry already, right? Okay, and yet he's still like shit. Alright, shit still hit the fan throughout the entire season. Alright, and then we're up against Crystal Palace, which we haven't beaten in so long. Like 4 or 5 encounters, we haven't beaten against them yet. Yeah, and I say this before and I say this again, right? Okay, when you do so well internationally, right, and then you come back with the shit hitting the fan, right, that goes to show and tells you how bad his coaching methods really is. Okay, it's all clear to see. That's why, right, when I just uploaded my short earlier just now, right, okay, when I did say that there is no, when Jamie Carragher said there's a split amongst fans, there is no split. 80% to 90% of all the fans that I encountered across all the social media, right, all one slot out. Even the most ardent fans, okay, the most loyal fans are all on a slot out. Okay, those who believed him in after winning the Premier League last season all are on a slot out too. Okay, I've never been a fan of his appointment in the first place. Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. It will not change my opinion no matter what happens now. Okay, because I shudder to think as to what happens, and the thing is, right, there's really no point signing new players if you don't get rid of what the elephant is in the room, which is on a slot. Yeah, and I've been right this entire time. All facts, no bullshit, right? Okay, so yeah, so back to Tottenham, right? Yeah, will we see them getting relegated? Maybe, maybe not. Yeah, we'll have to see how it goes here, because this Premier League is wacky, so to speak. It is an absolute roller coaster, because whatever teams that you expect them to be up there, you find them right down there. Okay, so but that's football for ya. That's the Premier League for ya. Yeah, anything can happen. So yeah, it is a roller coaster of emotions for everybody there. Okay, but of course the team that has been confirmed to be relegated now is Wolves. All right, they drew with West Ham. West Ham should have won them to further add insult to injury of Tottenham, but the draw is a fair result. Let's just put it that way. Okay, yeah. So with Wolves, right, okay, yeah, that's another classic example of how not to run a club, really, because yeah, they have been pretty crap this entire season, and to actually, like, I would say drop points against them or what, yeah, that's pretty bad. All right, with that said, okay, yeah, but Wolves, if there is like a few members, right, okay, I mean, I can name one member out of the entire Wolves squad, okay, that can really hold his head up high at the end of this season and should deserve to stay in the Premier League, right, and us, for example, right, is Mateus. I've been wanting this guy for a while as a cheap AM alternative, because the thing is, right, let's just say if Dominic Szoboszlai needs to deputize at right back occasionally, if Wirtz needs to be substituted out, there is no clear replacement that can substitute in that has the same kind of attacking prowess than unlike Szoboszlai and Florian Wirtz. So if you do, so it's good to actually have an additional attacking midfielder, right? If Szoboszlai needs to play at right back, and of course another reason for having Mateus is preparing for a potential departure of Harvey Elliott. He's coming back from Aston Villa. That much we don't really need to say, right? Okay, but whether he'll leave, it remains to be seen. If he does leave, we definitely need at least another homegrown talent, because Mateus does count as homegrown talent, even though he represents Portugal now. Alright, you think like someone like Jeremy Frimpong, yes, he's also considered another homegrown player because he was actually playing and being raised over in Manchester City. So he's also considered homegrown. And to have another Mateus, okay, that's also another homegrown player. Yeah, that will also occupy that spot, which is great to have. We need the homegrown slots as well. So that's actually one of the players that I really should consider getting, especially in terms of Tottenham players, right? I mean, there's quite a few that some people would name. Okay, I would say Lucas Bergvall. Yeah, he has been good, Lucas Bergvall, to be fair. Mickey van der Ven, maybe, because the thing is, right, we have enough centre back depth, especially now. Okay, we've heard lately, because I'm going to get to Konate in a second, right? Because we heard, right, Konate has given us a little bit of a teaser that he actually is close to signing a new deal and renewing his contract for another few more years. As to how long, we will definitely get to that, but hopefully he does actually renew his contract, because if he does, right, then our centre back depth is actually pretty decent. Because not to mention Van Dijk and Konate, right? We also have Jeremy Jake. We have Leonid is coming back from injury. He's doing night training now, so we'll see what happens with those two. Yeah, Jake is coming in during the next season, so I really am excited for him. But he needs to get himself checked out of his injury first. But yeah, we'll see. And of course, we also have Joe Gomez, yeah, our do anything kind of defender. Yeah, he can go full back, he can go centre back, and the other one that can also do anything at the back is Wataru Endo. I really hope he doesn't go though, Wataru Endo, because actually, right, you can see him as pretty much like a loyal servant. He doesn't say anything much, and he doesn't need to. Okay, yeah. If he does go, I'll be a little bit gutted because he's actually a good chap. Okay, for Wataru Endo, because it was like I would say an impulse buy, and we do need his brains and his leadership. Yeah, because if you need someone in leadership, I think Wataru Endo has definitely got it. We need someone like him around. So yeah, we have enough centre backs. I am not that worried with regards to that particular department there. The only department that I'm a little bit worried for is having additional defensive midfielders to help Ryan Gravenberch along. I do have a couple of names, Elliot Anderson, as well as Adam Wharton, and of course a winger, which a lot of us have known, okay, is the only few ones that pop out, right? Mikel Olise, very unlikely we would get him, but because he's going to be fucking expensive from Bayern. Of course, the other one that we are talking about is Yan Diomande, very young, okay, and I'm really excited for this one, because yeah, Yan Diomande, he has quite explicit with regards to saying that he wants this to be his dream move. So we really need to fork out for it, but then again, you should, okay? When you need to fork out with someone that's really in high demand, it's going to be expensive. That's for sure. Okay, it's going to be expensive. Yeah. So back to the next matchup, right? Okay, that will be against Crystal Palace. As I mentioned before, we have yet to beat Crystal Palace like in 4 or 5 encounters this entire season. I was like, wow, okay, but yeah, we really need a win this time now, just to further, and I mean further, give ourselves a bigger cushion, yeah, for the Champions League, especially if Chelsea, yeah, still needs to notch up a win somewhere. We really should try and notch up a win, yeah, as far as this goes. But I mean, of course, to restore our pride, right, because it was embarrassing to keep losing to Crystal Palace all over again, just to rub insult to our face after we lost our Mark Gahey, right? So yeah, well, with that said, right, my XI, my first 11 is pretty straightforward. I mean, for goalkeeper, as I said, right, it's going to be Freddie Woodman. I hope Ellison comes back. Maybe he can make the bench. Maybe I doubt he'll be ready to start for this weekend for Crystal Palace. But according to other reports, Ellison will be back for the Man United match. Okay, but until then, Freddie Woodman starts. As for the backside, okay, I'm gonna name. Right back, I'm going to go with Jeremy Frimpong. I need at least an attacking outlet from this guy. Okay, then our back two is going to be Konate and Van Dijk. And of course, at the left-hand side will be, I'm going to give Kirkes a go. Because Robert already started the last game, and I think Kirkes should actually try it this time round. Okay, as for the base one midfield, Ryan Gravenberch, he needs to be a little bit more consistent there, because he was good the last season. I don't know what has really happened to him, but yeah, I'll not harp on it any further. I just hope that he can actually get good sooner or later. Yeah, sooner rather than later. Yeah, so but after the base of the midfield, you know what I would say. I'm going to start with 2 number 10s right in front of him. Okay, so my number 10s, Florian Wirtz, as well as Dominic Szoboszlai. Dominic Szoboszlai should never ever be a right back. unless really emergency services. If you need someone as a right back, right, then you can just use Joe Gomez for that one. Hopefully by next season, Conor Bradley will be back. Yeah, but back to Szoboszlai, he needs to start at the center attacking midfield role as a number 10. All right, that leads us into the forward line. Okay, when you have 5 attacking oriented players, right, we really need to start overrunning them. For the right hand side, right winger, okay, Mo Salah, he has been scoring a little bit now. He's finally picking up form. Yeah, scoring against Fulham and even like, yeah, I can't remember who was the other one that we scored against. But yeah, he has been scoring. Okay, so yeah, right wing Salah, just to set him out on a high, he needs to score again. Then of course the center, we only have one available striker, or rather 2 for that matter. Yeah, but I'm gonna pick Isak. Okay, the thing is, both Wirtz as well as Szoboszlai, they need to provide that service to Isak, because yeah, he really needs it. As a lone striker, it's definitely something that he will need. Yeah, whether it's coming from the wings or coming from the center of the park, yes, he needs all the help that he can get. So yeah, well, hopefully the midfielders and the wingers will actually give him some. All right. Then of course the left winger is probably going to be Real Angomoha. Honestly speaking, I mean, if with Hugo Ekitike out like this, there's gonna be a lot bigger possibility of Gakpo and Isak starting as a striker. So if you ask me, right, and I have been saying this all season, Real Angomoha is more than ready to be our starting left winger, and he needs to be, even for next season, as our indispensable starter. Yes, when you need that flair, when you need that so-called attacking prowess, when you need the explosive dynamics, Real Angomoha can really do the things that Cody Gakpo couldn't. Yeah, and not to mention when we sold Luis Diaz, we didn't actually replace him with anyone of that particular caliber that has the same kind of dynamics. And the only one that can really do that is Real Angomoha. And after he scored against Fulham, yeah, this is pretty much the best case for him. Yeah, when he scored in his previous start, yeah, it's good that he did. Gives him so much confidence for that one. Okay, yeah, Salah scored against Fulham, Scan scored against Everton. Yes, so last 2 Premier League games in a row. Yes, that name like literally like escaped me there. Yeah, lost my train of thought there for a second there. But you know what? That it happens whenever I have to talk with stuff along the go, especially if I need to concentrate while driving, right? So, yeah. Yeah, so that's my first 11 that I would start for the Crystal Palace match. Okay, the revenge that we need. Winning this one, it will give us a 10-point lead over Chelsea, provided Chelsea actually lose another game. And the thing is, right, between 6 to 12, yeah, the difference is only 3 points. So any win or loss within these few positions is going to shuffle the entire pack. Yeah, but we want to still get a heavy cushion so we can actually qualify for the Champions League next season. Yeah, because yeah, we really do. Okay, yeah, with that said, right, whatever happens from here on out, man, I'm still not gonna change my opinion on Arne Slot. He still needs to go. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and I talked about like Jamie Carragher, about the fan base and stuff like that. Okay, but yeah, it's clear. It's really clear. All right. So that's it, guys. If you're new around here, please like the video if you like it. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. So whatever happens in the world, please ensure that you're safe, and please ensure that you pray for anybody who needs it, whether it's the war in the Middle East or anywhere in the world that pretty much needs it there. Okay, so yeah, I hope you guys have a good rest of the week, and please, Reds, don't let me down, man. What the fuck is this season, man? I swear to God. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I hope you guys have a good one. All right, take it easy, guys. Out.